Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahastamalakam Shashishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Karamanyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Mano Vicharaha. About the mind, the discussion. Bandhasya mokshasya karanam mana eva. Mind alone is the cause for both bondage and liberation. Make this on? Yeah. So, and this 172, we saw Vayuna ni, we'll read. Vayuna niyate megaha punasthenaiva niyate. Manasa kalpyate bandhaha mokshasthenaiva kalpyate. Aniyate megaha vayuna. By the wind alone, the clouds are brought together to pour down. Punaha vayuna eva niyate. It is led out also by the same vayu only. In the same way, bandhaha manasa kalpyate. Mind alone is the cause for the bandhanam. Tenaiva mokshaha kalpyate. By that alone, even the moksha is also. The word kalpyate is important because both are kalpana only. Because if it is real, then it is different. Satchet na bhadeta, asatchet na pratiyeta. Satchet na bhadeta, meaning if it is true, then it can never disappear. If it is false, then it is never
It never really appear. Appearance is both in the case of bandha and moksha. From the standpoint of bandhanam, bondage, a person seeks liberation. But one knows that by nature is liberation, then one wants it or not. Is it not a kalpana anymore? It is a real. What is real, and it appears to be not there, then one wants to get back to that. If moksha is also something which is to be sought after, anything that is sought after or gained in time will also disappear in time. So moksha is not something which we need to seek, but only to realize, only to know, only to remember. I mean, taking the example of a dreamer wanting to come out of the dream to the state of waking is because he knows originally he is a waker. Then only he is even have a desire to come out. No, if he does not know he is a real waker, how does he even look for moksha from their dream? Dream is false means something is real. If this world is false means something is real. And that real is not something else, it is me. So mind, when it realizes its original nature as the self, it is not something it is wanting in time or for a short time. It is going back to the original nature, and that is not something which is imagined by the mind. At the state of bondage, it imagines freedom. But when the freedom is gained, one knows that it is me, nothing more. Reached home. As Guruji, hurry home. Reached the home. Thereafter, there is nothing more to go, nowhere else to go. That's why Ramana Maharshi, when he reached the abode of Sri Tiruvannamalai, never moved out. Somebody asked, why are you not traveling? I'm at home. There's nothing more I need to do. I am at my home. I've reached the destination. So that's why here manasa eva kalpyate is also, liberation is also caused in the sense within quotes, caused by the mind. It is nothing, it's not caused, it is realized, it is understood, it is gained. Original nature is gained. Continuing, Dehadi Vishaye Parikalpya Ragam. Dehadi Sarva Vishaye Parikalpya Ragam. Badnati Tena Purusham Pashuvat Gunena. Vairasyamatra Vishavat Suvidaya Paschat. Enam Vimochayati Tanmana Eva Bandhat. Dehadi Sarva Vishaye Parikalpya Ragam. Badnati Tena Purusham Pashuvat Gunena. Vairasyamatra Vishavat Suvidaya Paschat. Tenam Yichochayati Tanmana Eva Bandhat. Ragam Parikalpya. Ragam, Sukha, to call that Sukha Adhyasam. Ragam is attachment, but attachment to what? Attachment to something which one considers as Sukha Hetu. a cause for joy. So, sukh parikalpya, imagined. What? In what? Deha adi, body, etc. Sarva vishaye. In all the objects. Sukhamasti asmin vishaye iti parikalpya. So the starting of the bondage is in the form of a notion created by the mind. Perhaps the cause of that also is purva vasanas. An object which I have never experienced before cannot create a vasana or an attachment for that. I don't know what it is. Then how will you create attachment to that which you don't even know? See, this is the reason why many of the parents ask, Swamiji, my children, even though we know smoking or drug, etc., are wrong, but they say, we want to try it out. See, what do you mean by trying it out? Trying it out means whether it will give me joy or not. But if by chance, if they happen to try it out and if they happen to enjoy it, finished. Vasana is created. This is how all things are. At some point of time, we did not know what it is. Nobody is born with a cigar in the hand or with a bottle of liquor. All these are all an experimentation of the curiosity of the mind. That it may have a joy content. And so all the advertisement, etc., are also, inducing the person to explore. Then, tena purusham batnadi. By that, purusham, the individual is badnadi, manaha badnadi, mind binds it. By the ragena badnadi. Like what? Pashuvat. Like an animal, gunena. Gunena means by rope. By the rope, how an animal is bound, in the same way, an individual is bound by the mind through the raga. Paschat, later on, if one is guided by a teacher or by the grace of the Lord, Vairasyam atra vishavat suvidaya. When one is able to develop a certain amount of vairasyam. Vairasyam means vairi bhavam. Vairi bhavam means a kind of enmity. Enmity towards what? Towards the very thing he earlier was having great attachment. Like what? Vishavat. Like that of the poison. Our Guruji used to give the example. Somebody went to someone's house and then they were talking, and then in the northern India they give a cup of milk. Milk is a standard, and if you go to South India, it's coffee. So some people have the peculiar notion: if you drink a lot of coffee, skin becomes dark. Or if you drink a lot of milk, skin will become white also. Anyway, so this fellow went, and then he was, you want milk? Yeah. Then he was about to drink. So that person said, before you drink, I just have to tell you, it's a small, one drop of cyanide, I put it in this. That's all. So I said, thank you. He kept it aside. I don't want to drink that milk. The other person said, no, I was just joking. You may be joking, but I'm choking. Because if it is true, then I'm in trouble. Even the thought that there is a poison is sufficient enough for an individual to immediately discard it. That's why this example is Vishavat. Vairasya matra vishavat suvidaya, well cultivated. Paschat, yenam vimochayati. This will mana eva vimochayati. What? Mana eva yenam vimochayati. Therefore, from where? Mana eva bandhat vimochayati. Enam purusham. Enam purusham mana eva bandhat vimochayati. This person who is earlier was caught up with the notions of joy in an object, when he starts to develop vairitvam towards the same object, like that of as though it is poison, then that very mind itself will release him from that bondage. He goes to the extreme, idea of hating or creating vairitvam in the mind for objects of the world. Vishayan vishavat tyaja. That's what he said. May you get out of these vishayas, considering them as visham. So here, deha adi yasya saha sarvacha asau vishayascha shabda sparshadibihi putradischa dehadi asau sarva vishayascha. All things which are subject to make us get attached, including pets. We just cannot travel anywhere. Interesting thing you will notice is the pets are not really attached to them, especially cats. They are not bothered. I'm telling you, they just walk away anytime they know. You only hold on to it. And that dog is okay, little more loyal. The cat never bothers. Shabdado ragasya api deha mulakatvat. Even the objects of the senses are starting from identification with the body only. If I don't have eyes, do I have great attraction towards colors and flowers? No. If I can't hear, do I have great attachment to music? I don't. So it is all starting from, that's why deha adi, that's why given. Even though vishayas are where we get attached, but where does it start from? Deha adi. So, devaha mulagatvat, tasmin dehadi vishaya, sarva vishaye, ragam parikalpya, dridam janayitva, tena ragena gunena, rajva pashuvat, pashumiva purusham vatnadi. Swa ipsida parama pada prapti ayogyam karoti. Parama pada prapya ayogyam. Meaning, you become incapable of, unqualified for the highest bliss. The one who seeks the highest bliss, therefore, should see the temporariness of everything, and thereby one will become aware when one is caught. See, problem here is that everybody is caught, therefore we don't see ourselves different from it. Everybody is in the same kuwe mein. So it is like that manduka, when it is all sitting in one small well or a well or pond. It can jump from one place to another, one place to another, one place. That much only within the pond only it can move. So it so happened, one manduka came from the ocean side or a big lake and happened to fall into that well. It finds very, very much restricted and what do you call that? Choked. This much only. So then the other guys around said, why are you so unhappy? It's such a small place. What do you mean by small place? This is all we have. No, you don't know about the lake, which is so extended water. You must be imagining. I'm not imagining. There where you can jump for hours together in the water, but still you will not come back to the same point. So one of the mandukas said, okay, I'll jump and show me. From here to here, is that much? You hardly did 2 feet. I'm talking about 200 feet. Finally, they all put him together and shut his mouth. Because this fellow is talking, there no sense at all. So in the same way, when we are only limited experience of things are there and everybody is in the same condition, we do not know what truly that bliss is. So Pashuvat, like an animal, one is bound. Paschad Anantaram. Tat yad baddham janaya masa tad manah eva. That very same mind which created the bondage, atra dehadau vishaye vairasyam, vairagyam, anasaktim, vishavat vishaiva anarthakaratva jnapanena. Not that it is the poison, but anarthakara jnapakatvena, by knowing, by recognizing, by remembering how that visha will eliminate one's own life. In that way, Suvidaya Sushtu Pudpatya, having created, cultivated, Evam Pumsam Bandha Dehadi Abhimana Lakshanat Vimochayati Visheshena Mochayati Manaha. The mind alone is capable of gaining the knowledge and coming out of the bondage. The same mind alone, earlier, because of the lack of knowledge, got caught up in that, like that of the animal bound by the rope. So that is the idea. Here is mana eva karanam. Bandhasya mokshasya cha. So Gurudev writes, if the idea that the joy content is not in the object outside is firmly established in one's own understanding, then one is immediately released from all one's personality bondages. This dispassion is brought about by the mind alone. Mind alone can bring that vairagya. It is not that we have to go through tragedies of life to understand that. Many people say that, oh, everything is fine. Until one gets into tragedy, one does not realize how one is foolishly holding on to things. So by the time we get all the experiences causing all the tragedies, we are ready to go. अगले जन्म में देखेंगे भाई, अभी तो अगले जन्म में तो सब भूल गया. Next birth, everything is forgotten. Again start. Tasman mana karanamasya jantoh bandhasya mokshasya cha vavidane bandhasya hetur malinam rajo gunai mokshasya shuddham virajastamaskam tasman manah karanamasya jantoh bandhasya mokshasya cha vavidane bandhasya hetur malinam rajo gunai mokshasya shuddham virajastamaskam. Asya jantoho manah eva tasmat karanam. Tasmat, therefore, mana eva karanam jantoho bandhasya mokshasya cha. And vidane, also the means, karanamapi, vidanam, sadhanamapi. Mokshasya sadhanamapi manah eva. Bandhasya sadhanamapi manah eva, karanamapi manah eva. The cause of bondage as well as the reason or means by which we are getting bound. Similarly, it is a cause of liberation and also the means to liberate also. Because after all, in the mind alone, the knowledge truly taken into practice. Even the buddhi knows, but mind is the one who has to implement it. It is like a boss and the manager. The boss takes decision. It's the manager who has to implement it. Similarly, buddhi knows, but then a buddhi is instructing the mind doesn't follow. Then, so vidane api bandasya hetuhu. What is the reason for bandasya hetu? What is the reason for bandhanam? Rajogunaihi malinam. It is none other than the Rajaguna or the guna called Rajas. And the Rajas is the cause of blemished. Malinam is blemished, contaminated, in other words. Manaha rajogunaihi malinam gacchati tasmat mana rajogunaha bandasya karanam. Mokshasya virajastamaskam shuddham karanam hetu. For the same way, mokshasya for liberation, virajaha. Viraja means vigada rajaguna, rajogunam, and tamaskam, viraja tamaskam. So together as a compound, virajas tamaskam, vigada raja tata tamoguna, surupam, shuddham eva hetuhu mokshasya. Devoid of or absence of rajas and tamas alone, which causes the purity. See, sattva need not be acquired. Why? Because mind is by nature sattva. Because it's a born out of sattva pradhana maya. When the rajas and tamas are removed, sattva guna is already there. You don't need to create it. See, when we take to japa or puja or upasana, basically we are bringing down the rajas and tamas. Tamas, lethargy, laziness. Bhagavan to hai na kal karenge puja, aaj nahi karna. Tomorrow I will do double puja. Why do I need to do it? Where is he going to go? So this is tamas, laziness, lethargy, indulgence, indolence, postponement, procrastination, sleepiness, sensuousness. These are all the things which are to be overcome. Therefore, the disciplines are prescribed. You have to get up, take shower, do nothing but do the upasana of the Lord before doing anything else. By which you have a system that makes you overcome tamas. Similarly, mind will be so agitated, disturbed during the day. To overcome the rajas aspect of it, also the japa, etc. are prescribed. And that also helps an individual to reduce the rajas, reduce extrovertedness, study, reflection, meditation. By doing all these things, virajas tamaskam shuddham manaha mokshasya hetuhu. So that is what is said here. So, tasmat purvokta hetoho asya jantoho praninaha vandasya mokshasya chava vidane utpadane mana karanam mana eva manushyanam iti shruti. Mana eva manushyanam karanam manda moksha yuva. That is quoted here. Ekasya viruddhatvaya hedutva katatayam aha. So how can the same thing can be cause for both? Mind is causing both bondage and liberation, and they are opposed to each other. How can the same thing can be cause for both? That is why it is said, Rajogunaihi pravruttayah bahubitaha rajakaryaha idi bhagavachanam. Nana vidataya bahirmukatva apatakaihi kama krodha lobhadi rajo dharmaihi iti va arthaha. So, the mind is none other than what is predominant quality, isn't it? Mind by itself is nothing but thoughts. And what kind of thought is there, that decides the bondage or liberation. So when it said mind, it is not a particular thing, but it is a set of thoughts of the nature of rajas or tamas causing bondage. And the same rajas and tamas, when they are replaced or removed, sattva is coming to surface, then that mind becomes, that nature of the mind is cause of liberation. So, malinam khalushidam manaha bandasya hetuhu. Shuddham nirmalam tatra hetumaha tamaskam iti rajasa tamasacha nirantara rahitam manaha mokshasya hetuhu. Liberation is therefore elimination of rajas and tamas. Now you see, interesting thing is, vasanas usually are predominantly rajas and tamas. Most of our past experiences, which are part of our impressions, are all about things that we need to enjoy from world outside. Eating or seeing or all that. And any extrovertedness is rajas. Any indulgence is tamas. So vasanas are essentially of the nature of extrovertedness. Paranchikani vidranat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyadina antaratman. Through the senses, whatever we experience is extrovertedness, and that is rajas. And when extrovertedly, when you acquire and indulge, that is tamas. So, when the vasanas are given vent to our mind, we are actually increasing the possibility of rajas and tamo pravritti or vritti happening in our mind, and they obviously create bondage. So, the opposite of the vasana is the samskar, where it is turning the attention within. When that is given, instead of following the dictates of the vasanas, when one takes a new line of thinking, then the vasanas intensity will reduce, meaning rajas and tamas will reduce, and in place, sattva will predominate. That's why he said, Adaha manasaha ekatve api. Even though mind is one, guna vedat, because of the quality of thoughts, viruddhatvaya hedutvam. Therefore, it can be a cause for both bandha and moksha. Kala bedena aviruddham iti bhava. Not in terms of time, in terms of quality of thoughts. You cannot say, oh, till morning, till for 10 o'clock I am in moksha, and afterwards I am in bondage. It is not in time. It is in terms of what thoughts are there in your mind. Gurudev writes, the condition of bondage and liberation are only states interpreted with reference to the condition of the mind. Wherever it is in the constant agitation, the individual is in bondage. Constant agitation is bondage. On the other hand, when the mind is turned to inward towards Om, it is mind full of sattva, and when it is turned towards the OET, it is a mind impure being mixed with rajas and tamas. Objects, emotion, and thoughts, when it is caught up in that, it is in bondage. When it turns towards Om, then it is in the state of sattva and shuddham. Both these are tricks of the mind, as Gurudev puts it here. Viveka vairagya gunadirekat shuddhatvam asadya mano vimuktiyai bhavatyato buddhimato mumuksho tabhyam dridabhyam bhavitavyam agre viveka vairagya gunatirekat shuddhatvam asadya mano vimuktiyai Bhavatyato buddhimato mumukshoho tabhyam dridabhyam bhavitavyam agre. Atirekat. Atirich means increase. Atirichate. Atiriktat, by the increase of predominance of Viveka Vairagya Guna. So the Viveka, differentiation or discrimination, and dispassion Vairagya, Shuddhatvam Asadhya, having gained the purity, Manaha Vimuktyai Bhavati Ataha. Manaha Vimuktyai Bhavati. Then the mind becomes ready for the liberation. Buddhimataha mumukshoho, but those people who are intelligent and seeking liberation, tabhyam, viveka vairagyabhyam, dridhabhyam, bhavitavyam. Agre, to begin with. Vivekas vairagyabhyam, dridhabhyam, bhavitavyam. This is a strong ability to discriminate as well as to dispassionately work in this world, be in the world. They should be strengthened. Dridhabhyam viveka vairagyabhyam mukshoho bhavitavyam, to be made. So that is why from the very beginning itself that is given as the quality of the true student. So here even as vivekasya vairagyam cha viveka vairagye te eva gunau satphala pradata dharmi. Satphala dharmi. Dharmo actually. Satphala dharmi. Dharmo. Meaning those which are giver of the true result. Tayoho atirekaha atishayaha. Increase, predominance, viveka dhardyam vairagye tivrataratvam cha. There are, what is strengthening of viveka vairagya? One is viveka dhardyam, steadiness, and tivrata of vairagya, intensity. One is consistently one has to employ the viveka, and seriously one should practice the dispassion. This is what is explained here. Dhardyam, dridata, steadiness, consistency. So viveka or the discrimination is not only when we are studying the scriptures. It should be consistently practiced. That is where the knowledge really helps. When we do Shravanam, our Viveka Dridata increases. When we listen once in a while, the thought about wanting to correctly discriminate, that does not happen so easily. See, many times, we tell our children also, when they are practicing dance or music, etc. Everyday practice, you insist, right? Only when I go to music class, I practice. After that, I will not do for a whole week. Then the teacher knows, did you not practice every day? Because you are not, you are not fluent in what you're doing. I taught you all right. Then until next week, you don't do it, your fluency doesn't come. The fluency comes only when you do it every day at least once. Few minutes, not few minutes, few hours. Many of the teachers say you have to practice it every hour, every day, 1 hour at least. Do the alapana. Or if it is an instrument, take the instrument and start practicing every day. Because we go out of touch very easily. Similarly, so what is Viveka? The ability to engage in this world at the same time, clearly distinguish between what is real and what is unreal, what is permanent, what is temporary, what is needed for my moksha or liberation, what is on the way, which is a obstacle to that. If we constantly see, then when situations arise, it is easy for you to, without any hesitancy, without any ambiguity, without any setback, you can employ that directly. Otherwise, you wait for the Guru. What do I do now? I told you 100 times. You're not practicing it. And therefore, letting go of what is known as useless is easy. Dispassion becomes very easy in the sense that now I know clearly I do not have any unhappiness about giving it up. That's why my, Ayurvedic doctor said when I was leaving from the treatment, Swami, all that you need to do is when you're eating, close your eyes and think about what you ate here. That's all. That much only. Don't go beyond that. Then you will consistently make your body healthy. It's not that you indulge and after some time, okay, now I have to practice. By the time it would have already spoiled the health. So every meal, you just close your eyes. How much you ate? Okay, that much. No, remove all other things. Then you can maintain it. Otherwise, it is hard. So, consistency, that's called dridata. Vivekadhardyam vairagyam tivra taratvam cha tasmat viveka vairagya gunadirekat brahma satyam jagan mitya ityevam nischaye mitya vastuni kama anudayat. This is already given by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Brahma satyam jagat mitya. Mitya means appearance. That means iti nischaye mitya vastuni. In those things which are only elusive, kama anudayat, desire for them will not rise up also. Mithya iti janan. Upon knowing that it is mithya, to such a person, the kama for that will not happen. After having the desire for a thing, to remove it is difficult. Because that's why Gita also said, no? Sangha sanjayate kama. Once that much you have come already. Dhyayato vishayan sangha teshu sangat kama. You already come down 2 steps. As Gurudev would say, it is like even Gita also, Vivekachoodamani also would say that like a ball which is rolling from the first step. By that time it is down. You don't even know how fast it bumps down and comes down. So Vishaya Dhyanam itself is the starting point. But the Vishaya Dhyanam itself should not be done because what? Mithya rupatvat. ये मिथ्या है, उसको बारे में सोचना क्या है? So there itself you cut. Then there will not be further damage. So mithyatvam. So here, vastuni kama anudayat brahmalokam vairagyam prakrishyate. Brahmalokam. Up to the world of Brahma, you'll have no vairagya. I mean, you have no kama. Brahma voran lokan punaravartinorjana. From Brahma's world onwards, everything is subject to return. Until Brahma Loka, there is all return only. So one is, Vairagya is defined as what? Iha paraloka vishayeshu icharayityam. Palavogeshu icharayityam. Paraloka means up to the Brahma Loka. Kama anubhate eva shuddhi Shabdhartatvat. Shuddhi word is, the word is used here as what? The word that is used is Bhavati Ataha Buddhimataha. Before that, the word Shuddhi is used in the previous line, previous verse. That Shuddhi is none other than Kama Anupahatereva. No association with Kama alone is referred as Shuddhi. Shabda Artatvat. Tat Ubhaya Guna Yuktam Manaha Shuddhatvam Nirmalatvam Asadya Prapya Vimuktye Bahirmukatva Shunyataya, with no extrovertedness, Aidambaryena Brahma Samstam Atyantika Bandha Nivritye Hetuhu Bhavati. For the complete elimination of bondage, it becomes the cause. Ataha Viveka Vairagyati Vairagya Atireka Visishta Manasaha Vimukti Hetutvat Buddhimataha Buddhi Asyasti iti Buddhiman Tasya Upaya Kushalasya Ityartaha. For the one, such a person who is capable of using his intellect. That's why Buddhimataha is given. Buddhi hai, Buddhiman nahi hai. बुद्धि को मानता नहीं है. ये बुद्धि को मानता है, वो बुद्धिमान हो गया. One who believes in his buddhi alone is a buddhiman. But that is not the right interpretation here. Buddhi yasya asti iti buddhiman. That way. Tasya ubhaya kushalasya ityartha. Mumukshoho moksha rupa pada ichchavatah agre adau. To begin with, this is similar to what Bhagavan Krishna says, Tasmat Tvamindriyan Yado Niyamya Bharadarshapa Papmanam Prajahijnenam Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. Having explained how Indriyas are greater than Vishayas and mind is greater than Indriyas, Buddhi is greater than the mind and Atman is greater than the Buddhi. Therefore, he says, start from Indriyas. Here also, Agre, to start with beginning, Ado Tabhyam Viveka Vairagyabhyam Dridabhyam Ashitilabhyam, without any shitila, without any decay or weakness. Prakrishyamana cha bhavitavyam upayecham prati phalechhayaha karanatvat. So this is the upaya. Viveka Vairagya is the upaya, method of overcoming raga and rajas and tamas. So, upaya ichcham prati phala ichchayaha karanatvat. The desire to develop Viveka Vairagya because it is a means to the end called moksha. If you are seeking moksha, then you have to desire the means. Therefore, that is why he said, Moksha Ichchavan Puman, a person who is seeking liberation, Viveka Vairagye Ado Prayatnena Sampadiyati Chet, if he develops these two, Phalam Avarjaniyam iti Katitam Bhavati. Avarjaniyam, unavoidably he will get liberation. Undeniably. Avarjaniyam Phalam. Unavoidable or undeniable result, that one gets for sure. So now he is cautioning about the mind, because we have not been told to control the mind, discipline the mind during our entire life by anybody, at home or at work or at school or the university. They only said, use the mind to study, use the mind to do that, use the mind to do that, this. But nobody said, stop the mind. Anybody said, just stop the mind. Stop the mind means go to sleep. So here the verse comes, understand the mind like a tiger in the wild forest. Mano nama maha vyagra Vishayaranya bhumishu charatyatra na gacchantu sadavo ye mumukshavaha mano nama mahavyagra vishayaranya bhumishu charatyatra na gacchantu sadavo ye mumukshavaha. Ye sadavaha mumukshavaha. Those who are sadavaha, seekers, mumukshavaha, those who are seeking liberation. Atra na gacchantu, may they not go there. Where? Yatra, where Mahavagra, a great tiger whose name is mind. Mano nama Mahavagra. Vishaya aranya bhumishu charati. Roaming around in the wild forests of objects. Don't you go anywhere near that. Do not you enter that place. Because once you are there, in that wild forest, it's very comfortable. It is because it has been there all the time. You are the entry there. You have no idea which is the direction you have to go, left, right, or that fellow will come and swallow you alive. So here, Vishayaranya bhumishu Vishayaha eva aranya bhumaya. These objects are considered as the forest, wild forest here. You know why? Because that limitless they are, endless. Like in a true forest, you would not know how many trees are there. You cannot count them. And everywhere it is the same. Anywhere you look at it. Masi. Mesi or Masi? Mesi. Mezevo. You go there. Oh my God. Everything seems to be very interesting. And first section is women's section only there. All sort of dresses and fancy items. And poor fellow, the menswear. Somewhere in one corner, one small portion is menswear. Because men swear. Because they swear only. There in the corner, one place. And the entire place is filled with things. That's called Vishaya Aranya. So, Aranya Bhumaya. Aneka Anartha Sankulatvat. Most dangerous things are there and all over the place. Vishayans Teshu Gocharan. That's what it is given also. Tasu Manao Nama Mahavyagraha. The wild tiger is there. Manasanyakaha. A name is known as mind. Chanda Pundarikaha. Chanda means fierce. Pundarika means leopard. You see the leopard. You know, many times leopard, you cannot spot them because they are spotted. They are camouflaged into the forest leaves. And so when we went to this South African trip, we have seen the zebras, we saw the many other things. Now, after first day, everybody get bored about looking at these, what do you call, zebras and then buffaloes and antelopes. And now we want to see antelopes. And I said, antelopes only. So, and then, so all of them, so first day they were very excited about seeing all this. Afterwards, everywhere they are there. No, I saw a tiger or lion. We saw a leopard. Everybody, where did you see? Which areas? And then the vehicle also, when they go there, the individual vehicle, 4 or 5 people, one vehicle coming from the front. We saw it. Where? There. Go there and then slowly watch where it is. And that guy is sitting on a tree. You cannot see it. Unless you have extreme attention, if you pay, you'll see that fellow is camouflaging itself, sitting there. I mean, it's dangerous because it's all in the open. You won't attack, but it is there. So this guy is very comfortable in that Vishaya Aranya. And therefore, Chanda means fierce. And fierce leopard. Chanda Pundarika, Charati, Sancharati. And here is very good. Paranchikani, Prajanchikani Idishrudehe. Like that of the Kathopanishad says that all these are all available out in the world. Vishaya Pravanata, Manasaha Swabhava. The tendency of the human mind is to dwell in the objects. It is its natural habit. Nimna bhumi gamanamiva jalasya. That's a beautiful example he gives. Nimna bhumi gamanam iva jalasya. Like the water always goes towards the lower planes. Easily, without any effort, right? From an higher plane, water naturally flows down to the lower planes. So too, mind without any effort goes towards the objects. Tadaha bandaya vishaya asaktaha idyapi mushrude in the Amritavindu. Jivasya mahan anartham sambhavati. And that is why it is in Gita also, taduktam Gitasu, sangat sanjayade kamaha kamat krodho vijayade krodhat bhavati sammoha sammoha smati vipramaha simil brahmshat buddhinatah buddhinashat pranashyati. Ata ye sadavaha satpurushaha mumukshavaha mokshakankshinaha te atra vishaya aranya bhumishu nagachantu. Don't go there. Magaman. Do not enter there. Magamanam. Vishayebhya mano nivartayantu mokshaya iti abhiprayaha. Kaschidhiraha pratyagatmanam ekshad avritta chakshuhu amritattvam icchan iti bhava. So that is why the caution is given. We'll see one more verse here. Mana prasude vishayana sheshan Sulatmana sukshmataya cha bhoktuhu Sharira varnashrama jati vedan Guna kriya hetu phalani nityam Mana prasude vishayana sheshan Stulatmana sukshmataya cha bhoktuhu Sharira varnashrami vedan Guna kriya hetu phalani nityam. Ashrima is written, it's wrong. Ashrama. Ashrama will be correct. Bhoktuhu manaha sthulatmana sukshmataya vishayan asheshan prasude. Bhoktuhu for the jiva manaha prasude. That is the main point. Manaha prasude. Mind creates what? Sukshmadaya sthulatmana vishayan asheshan. Very subtly, it creates sukshmataya sthula atmana as the gross being, vishayan asheshan. All the various objects are created. And also the Vedas or differences. Sharira, Varna, Ashrama, Jati, Veda. Sharira, body, varna, color or caste, ashrama, stage of life, jati, lineage, all these Vedas are also created by the mind. Guna kriya hetu palani nityam prasode. Guna kriya hetu, we'll see that here. Bhoktuhu jivasya jagradavastayam sthulatmana, in the state of waking, as the world that is in front of him, which is gross, tat devata anugrihita tat indriya janya anubhava vishayataya sthulatmana. Oh, mind alone creates the external gross world. Tatta devata anugrihita, including the various deities which are presiding over. Tat indriya janya anubhava vishayataya, because each of the senses are being presided over by certain deities who direct the particular sense to a particular sense field. Sthulatmana at the same time in the form of very sthula, very gross, but at the same time, swapnavastayam, in the state of dream, indriyanam uparadehe, at the time when the sense organs are withdrawn, sukshmataya, subtly, kevala sakshi iva, sakshi vedyataya, as remaining as a sakshi, cha asheshan sarvan vishayan, all the objects of the things, the experience, bhogya padarthan manaha prasode utpadayate. The mind alone creates both in the waking state the objects of experiences externally during the waking state, during the deep sleep state when the mind is and the senses are withdrawn. As a witness to the entire experience, it creates a subtle experiences there too. Te vishayaha ke, what are those vishayas? Iti akankszayamaha sharira varna ashrama jati vedan. What are those? Shariram cha, varnascha, ashramascha, jadayascha, jadayascha, sharira varnashrama jadeha. Tasam vedaha prakaraha tan deva tiryang manushyadi sharirani. They are also different, no? Deva sharira, manushya sharira, prani sharira, they are all there. And then Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Rupa, Varnan, caste in the form of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, etc. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, Ashraman, Deva, Manushyadi, Shariram cha, Devatvadi Jadischa Prasudehe. All of them are created very efficiently by this mind. Sushuptyadau manasaha abhave edesham vedanam abhavat. During the time when deep sleep or dream where these are all absent, sarvamidam manasa kalpidam eva iti bhavaha. So earlier also said, when the mind is absent, none of them are there. All the differences are gone. So who creates it? Obviously, the mind alone, during the waking time, it creates all that. Evam guna kriya hetu phalani, gunaha shabdadeha, sound etc. Kriyaha utshepana adeyaha, throwing up etc. Hetavaha tat karya nimitta upadanani, whatever is necessary as a material cause. Phalani ghatadini tat karyani, cause and effect also. Eda sarvam maneva nityam sada prasude. Na anya nimittam idam manosa abhave kasya api abhavat. When manaha abhave, sarva abhavat. Therefore, tadeva sarvasya moola karanam idi bhava. Therefore, that alone is the cause. So, This is the why mind is considered as the most important one for both bondage and liberation. All the disciplines and all the teachings are addressed to the mind. That's why he elaborately explains this Mana Maya Kosha. We'll see more of it in the next session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.